we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. My name is Carolina Corral. I'm a graduate recruiter here at Colorado School of Mines. I'm excited to have you all here and joining me live today to learn a little bit more about our graduate programs at Colorado School of Mines. Some nice little features before we get started with the presentation. Down at the bottom of your screen, there's going to be a little question marks box with a Q&A feature. If you have any questions that come up throughout the presentation today, that's going to be a little chat box for you to submit those questions. On the back end, I have a few other counselors and recruiters joining me on the call today, so they're going to be doing their best to answer as many of those questions as they can for you throughout the presentation. So again, that little Q&A feature is just going to be right there on the bottom for you. Go ahead and type in any questions that come up, and those counselors will get to you as soon as they're able. So with that, we'll go ahead and move on to our presentation today. Again, this is going to be about our graduate programs here at Colorado School of Mines. It will be a roughly 30-minute presentation. We're going to touch on some program types, some degree levels that you could pursue here. We'll talk about some tuition funding opportunities, as well as some formats and modalities for some of our programs. We'll talk on some statistics about the value of grad school and the value of research here at Mines. And then we'll end with some next steps if you are intrigued and ready to start that application journey here for one of our grad programs. So we'll dive right in here, starting off with our program types. Here you're going to see a full list of some of the different degree levels that you could pursue when you're looking at grad school. At the top of the list here, we have a Doctor of Philosophy, or a PhD. PhD is the highest academic qualification that one can receive. It's best suited for those who have an interest in academia or in research opportunities. About your third semester into a PhD here at Mines, you'll be expected to take a qualifying PhD exam. And then you are also going to be submitting a final thesis with your work and findings. So just some of that to keep in mind. In terms of timelines for a PhD here, it takes about 72 credit hours to complete a PhD. This can take roughly on average anywhere from 3 to 5 years for our students to complete. So definitely some timelines you want to keep in mind there when you're trying to figure out what degree level is going to be a right fit for you. And we have a variety of different programs that offer a PhD level here at Mines. To name a few for you, we have applied chemistry, physics, mechanical engineering. We also have the world's first space resources program that's offered here at Mines. There's only a select few people who are qualified to teach this program, and it's offered here at Mines online and on campus. So this is a really amazing exclusive opportunity for our students to engage with some innovative program fields and research opportunities. So that is a summary of our PhD offerings. Next on the list, we have a master's thesis. Master's thesis is also well suited for those who have an interest in research opportunities. You're also going to be submitting a final paper with your findings to be published. A master's thesis, timeline-wise, takes anywhere from 2 to 2.5 years to complete. It's about 30 to 36 credit hour requirements for that degree type. About 6 of those credit requirements at minimum will be dedicated towards research, so something to keep in mind there. And some of the programs that offer a master's thesis opportunity includes our quantum engineering field, which we'll talk about a little bit later on as well, and our humanitarian engineering. So a lot of different variety with some of those programs there if you're interested in the thesis route. Moving on, after a master's thesis, there's going to be a master's non-thesis. For a non-thesis, you are still going to be conducting some research here, but it's not going to be the primary focus the way that it is with our master's thesis program. It's still going to be about 30 to 36 credit requirements to complete, which most of our students are going to do in 1 to 1.5 years here at Mines. This is well suited for working professionals because our master's thesis tends to have a little bit more of a flexible program outline for you. So again, some additional things to keep in mind when you're considering, is a thesis going to be the better fit, or is a non-thesis going to work more with your outside demands? And then last on the list, we have a certificate. A Certificate is going to be a graduate level certificate here at Mines, typically anywhere from 9 to 12 credit hours to complete, which most of our students on average will complete in about a year. It's well suited for those who have an interest in gaining some type of specialized knowledge to help them advance in their career field. So a lot of our students will start off with a certificate in pursuit of a master's, so they want to get prepared for that demand. A lot of students will start with a master's in preparation for a PhD. So some things that you want to keep in mind in terms of what's your ultimate goal and how do you want to best prepare yourself for all of that. We have some really awesome certificate opportunities for our students as well, some that you might not have heard of at other institutions. To give you an idea of what we have a finite element analysis professional certificate opportunity. We have advanced manufacturing certificate opportunities. We also have cybersecurity and things like that. So a lot of different ways to play around with our program types. And although Colorado School of Mines does offer every single degree level here, not all of our programs are going to offer each of these degree types. So you're going to want to do a little bit more research to see if the program that you're interested in offers the degree level that you're looking to gain. So with that, we'll move on to some tuition and funding here. So this table breakdown for you is going to talk about our academic school year for 2024-2025. Top table there is going to be a semester at a glance for you. So it is going to be broken up between our Colorado resident rates, our non-resident rates, and then we also have a Mines online modality breakdown there for you. If you want to look a little bit further into the details of cost of attendance, that QR code there at the top corner is going to be a good one to scan. It'll take you right to our page where it's going to give you a further breakdown, kind of like the table you see right on that bottom there where it goes into a 1 credit base. This breakdown is really important to know because a lot of the programs are going to vary with the credit requirements that they have. But something that we also want you to note is that for grad school, we tend to have a flat tuition rate once we reach 9 credits. So again, that QR code is going to break down an even larger table for you that goes into more of the weeds of cost of attendance here and the type of credits that you're going to be looking at for your program. So definitely scan that for some additional information there. But we do participate in a lot of different opportunities to help assist with your tuition rates and your costs of attendance. One of those programs that we participate in is called the Western Regional Graduate Program, or the WRGP. Essentially what the WRGP is, it's a promotion of higher ed sharing different resources among certain participating Western states, which are going to be outlined there in the darker gray for you. If you're eligible and if you qualify, you could potentially receive some discounted non-resident tuition rates there, which is a really nice opportunity for students. If you want to scan that QR code, it's going to have that full list of states there for you. There's also some Commonwealth and US territories that do participate in this as well. Something to note is that not all of our graduate programs are able to participate with WRGP. So again, that QR code will give you some additional information. If you do reside in one of these areas, potentially your program would participate with this. So definitely head there for some additional information. But there is a lot of other types of funding and financial aid opportunities for our students to look out for. Some of the main ways are going to be through fellowships, external fellowships, through some traineeships, some scholarships, whether those are external or internal here at Colorado School of Mines. There's also some teaching assistantships or TAs and research assistantships or RAs. With our TAs and our RAs, these are often funding opportunities that are very popular with our thesis-based degree types, so a PhD or a master's thesis. But there are some hourly thesis funding opportunities for our non-thesis students that you can still take a look at. So with funding, the number one thing that we recommend for our students is if you're interested in any opportunity to receive some type of funding consideration, on the admissions application, there's going to be a question there for you, and it's going to ask you, do you want to be considered for funding opportunities? We recommend that even if you're unsure, you just select yes on that, just so you're in the circle of consideration for funding. And then the second thing that we recommend is that you actually do some of your own due diligence and reach out to the programs that you are interested in applying for, and reach out to the professors that you're interested in working with, especially if you want to do some type of research opportunity with those professors for research assistantships. Reach out to them. There's going to be a contact page on all of our websites with email addresses and phone numbers. We definitely recommend that you start some of that communication, build some rapport, and inquire what their funding opportunities are going to look like, because they have new opportunities coming in all the time. So you don't want to miss out on anything. You definitely want to start building that relationship with your professors and with your department. So we do encourage you to go ahead and reach out to them to see what those opportunities look like within their department specifically. Outside of that, there is going to be the federal FAFSA, federal loans and state need based. So we do recommend students to submit that if you're eligible to submit a FAFSA. There's also a CAFSA for Colorado School of Mines. So if you're able to utilize that resource, that federal resource, we do recommend that you submit that just to see if there's any additional aid that you're eligible for. Outside of that, Colorado School of Mines has its own general scholarship application. And this is going to house a lot of the internal scholarships that we have to offer. So we do recommend that our students submit their application for that general scholarship form just to see what type of scholarships you're eligible for in our own house and on that end. So that's a little bit of a brief summary of what funding and assistance could look like on that end, but there's so much more opportunity out there that I didn't touch on this slide. So if you have further questions about that, feel free to always reach out. We have a few links that we're happy to share with you. Just reach out via email and we can connect you to some more opportunities that we know of. So I want to talk about formats and modalities next with you. About 20 plus of our programs here at Minds are also offered in an online format, which is really awesome. I imagine some of you are joining in today outside of Colorado. So an online format might be something that you're already really intrigued by. What's really cool about these online programs is that they're still taught by the exact same faculty that are teaching our on-campus and residential programs. And this faculty is just as committed to your success as an online student as they are with our in-person students. So they're easily accessible. They're still enthusiastic about those programs they're teaching. It's just all going to be on an online format there for you. There's a couple of benefits with doing an online format. Top of mind is that it can be very flexible for working professionals or for those who aren't able to come into Colorado to take those courses in person. So that's definitely a huge flexibility benefit there. A lot of our courses are going to be in an asynchronous model as well, and you might have some shortened semesters there with the programs as well. So that can definitely help with timelines and things like that, especially for our working professionals. And we've added some really cool programs in an online format as well. To name one, we added our computer science professional master's degree in an online format. So really popular, common programs that students are looking to get masters in. We're offering a lot of those online. So if you're curious about that, that QR code right there in the middle should take you to a list of the different programs that do participate in an online format. So we encourage you to explore that and see if online is going to be the best fit for you when you're completing your degree here at Minds. So I threw a lot of information at you, a lot of data and all that good stuff. And at some point throughout your journey, you're probably going to be asking yourself, is grad school even worth it? And it's a very valid question. And I do hope you're having that introspection with yourself to figure out how a graduate degree is going to help impact your life for the positive. And honestly, we do want to tell you that a lot of the data here is going to speak for itself. Our bachelor students, for example, when they're graduating here from Colorado School of Mines, on average, their starting salary rate is about $79K, which is a fantastic way to start. But when you're comparing that to our students who are graduating with a graduate level degree, on average, their starting salary is at an $89K start. So there's definitely going to be a financial gain there, which is one of the main reasons that students will pursue a graduate level degree. You want to see some positive outlook. Grad school is definitely going to be an investment for you. So you want to make sure that you're getting a good return on that investment. And that financial opportunity for that upward mobility is a great place to start as well. The overall outlook and career trajectory is very positive, as reported by our students within 6 months of graduating. For our master's graduate students, that's about a 97% positive outcome. For our PhD graduate students, that's at a 98% positive outcome. So it definitely all goes to show you that, yes, a grad degree is worth having a conversation about. It's all going to vary depending on the industry that you're going into. If you're really interested in management positions, or you want to be a team lead on certain projects, or you just are looking for that career upward mobility, oftentimes they're going to look for a grad degree. That's going to be kind of a minimum in order to advance. So do some of that research with your personal career goals and aspirations and see how will a grad degree really help take you to the distance that you're looking for. Definitely look into the numbers, talk with other students who have grad degrees, talk to the industries that you're interested in working for. Again, the data tends to speak for itself. So a grad degree can absolutely be the biggest difference in the hiring pool that makes you competitive. It makes you stand out. It helps make you an expert in your field, which a lot of jobs are looking for, especially with all of the new innovations and advancements going on in the world of STEM. So if you're all joining in today, that means to some degree or some extent, you are already considering the benefits of a grad degree. So hopefully this helps outline a little bit more about what those benefits look like. And of course, Colorado School of Mines is one of many institutions that does offer graduate degree programs, but what makes us stand out compared to those other institutions, and why should you be considering Mines above all of those others? Well, our location is fantastic. Our location allows us the opportunity to engage with a lot of different research centers and institutes here that are nearby campus. For example, we are very close to the National Renewable Energy Lab here, or NREL. A lot of our students, especially in our advanced energy systems program, are able to in-person interact and engage and network with the NREL liaisons for that program, which is some type of in-person connection that not a lot of institutions have the privilege of providing their students. So we really love that. Overall, we have 27 plus affiliated research centers and institutes that our students are able to engage with. So that really does take your research and your hands-on experience to the next level here. We also have $95 million plus in total research awards. If you are keeping up to date with the quantum world, you know that Colorado is becoming a quantum hub, and it's becoming the top state in conversation in quantum innovation. And Colorado School of Mines has been granted a lot of research awards and opportunities to actually participate in this advancement and in this innovation. Our quantum engineering program here is outstanding. We have 11 open quantum frontiers here on campus. So again, these are just the hands-on connections and resources that our students are able to get while they're doing their degree program here. So you definitely want to make sure that you're looking at those factors when you're considering multiple different universities. Yeah, it's definitely a wonderful place to look into. So I'm happy that you're already considering Colorado School of Mines, and hopefully today has helped to solidify your interest in our institution and your interest in grad school in general. And so to kind of help propel you into that next step, we're going to take you through what your next steps are actually going to look like if you are interested in applying to Colorado School of Mines for grad school programs. The number one thing that you're going to want to start off with is by picking the program that you're interested in. So pull up our website, take a look at that list of programs that we offer. Once you know what field you're interested in, whether it's related to your bachelor's degree or maybe you're venturing a little bit outside of that, definitely try to figure out what degree level you want to pursue with that program and see what's going to be a right fit for you. Once you have that figured out, you do want to take a look at deadlines. We have a lot of different deadlines that depend on a lot of different factors. If you're interested in starting in fall versus in spring, those deadlines are obviously going to look very different. If you're interested in doing a master's non-thesis versus one of our thesis degrees, those deadlines are going to be very different as well. If you're a domestic applicant or if you are an international applicant, those are also going to have some varying deadlines. So we want you to be well informed with that and make sure you know what that timeline is going to look like for you so that you're able to get your application process started in time to where you're not rushing and crunching the numbers there to make sure that you're getting things submitted before that deadline. So know what program you're interested in, and then know what the deadline is going to be associated with that program. Once you have that figured out and you're ready to start an application, you can head to applygrad.minds.edu/apply, or you can just Google Colorado School of Mines grad school. The main website should have an apply now button somewhere on there. So you want to start that application. In order to start that application, you're going to need to create a graduate admissions account. With this account, you're going to be able to not only start that application, but you can submit supplemental materials that maybe that application is not requiring. Maybe you recently published something that you want to include in there. Maybe you wrote out a letter to explain some additional things. Maybe you have a letter of recommendation that's not required and you want that submitted in there. Those type of supplemental materials can be submitted on that applicant portal after you create that account. And then, of course, once you submit that application, your applicant portal will allow you to see any updates about your admissions decision. You'll get that status of what that decision timeline looks like for you. So that applicant portal is going to be a really great place to kind of have everything organized in one area. When you are submitting that application, there is going to be an application fee associated with your submission. For our domestic students, that's going to be a $75 application fee. And for our international students, that will be a $95 application fee. So make sure that you have that payment submitted in there in order for your application to be considered complete. Another thing to keep in mind with having a complete application is that you have all of the required materials submitted on there as well. Just because you hit submit on that applicant portal, that doesn't necessarily mean that your application is complete, because there's a full checklist of the different material requirements that are going to be asked of you. If all of those materials are not submitted, your application will not be complete and it won't be reviewed until those materials are in. So this list could include letters of recommendation depending on the program. It could potentially include GRE scores, or the graduate record examination scores. For our international applicants, this might be English proficiency scores and a credential evaluation. So you want to make sure all of those materials are submitted by or before the deadline in order for that application to be complete. Something to keep in mind: if your application is going to require some letters of recommendation, it's your job to let your recommenders know that here's the deadline, here's the timeline. If they don't submit that letter of recommendation by the deadline, it's going to push back the completion of your application. So some stuff that you want to keep in mind there. Again, because we can't emphasize it enough, we won't be reviewing your application until it is officially complete. So make sure you're keeping an eye out on that checklist, which can also be found on your applicant portal, just to see that you have everything that you need submitted there. Outside of that, we're going to be doing a lot of communication to you via email. So make sure you're staying on top of that. If you are unsure what email you have on file, you're welcome to call us or just reach out to us via that accessible email address and we'll update that information for you. If you think you have a school email address on file or a work email address on file, I recommend that you update that with a personal email address, just in case you can't have access to that email address that you originally signed up with. So make sure you have access to that email, because that's going to be the main way that we communicate with you. And then if you happen to hear some good news from us that you were accepted into the program that you applied for, hooray, there's still some more steps that you have to complete after that. We do need you to officially accept the offer that we are sending you. And the way that you can do that is by filling out an enrollment decision form through your applicant portal. And this is going to help hold your spot for that program. And it's letting us know that you are interested in applying, not applying, you're interested in attending and enrolling into that program that we have offered you. So you'll want to make sure you do that. They do have some deadlines associated with that form, which we'll let you know once we get that communication out to you. Other than that, once you are enrolled, you filled out all the forms, you're ready to go. Some things that you want to keep in mind: we are going to be asking for those official transcripts to be sent in. When you apply, all you need is an unofficial transcript. So you can download these and attach those unofficial transcripts yourself. You don't have to pay for that. But an official transcript has to be sent officially through that institution that you received that transcript from in order for us to accept it. So you'll want to make sure you get that process started. because in order to register for classes, we're going to need to see those official transcripts rolling in. You're going to work with your program contacts to eventually register for those classes. We're also going to be inviting you to an orientation on campus for graduate students. There's going to be a couple of different sessions. I believe there's also some online sessions for them. So you'll want to, again, be on top of that email and then make sure you're attending those mandatory orientations. And if you are receiving any type of funding, have that communication with your departments. Make sure everything is okay and good to go on that end. They're going to be the ones that are overseeing any departmental funding. So make sure you're having those conversations with them, but you can always reach out to our financial aid office for any additional forms of financial aid that you're concerned about. So that's really your next steps there for you. I know it's a lot of information that we threw at you, and there's been a couple of Q&A questions there that we may not have gotten a chance to get to today. But if you look at the bottom corner here on the left, we have our phone number on there. We also have our email on there and our website. So we do highly encourage you to reach out to us, especially through that email with any of the questions that you have left at any point during your journey. We do our best to get back to you. We are real people responding to you in those emails. It's not a little AI chat. So we're going to do our best to get back to you as soon as we're able. We're happy to talk you through it. We're happy to work with you on any concerns that you have during that process. We're happy to connect you with some additional department contacts if you need some more information in that way as well. So please do reach out to us and keep that communication going. We're really excited about your interest at Minds, and hopefully we get to see some of you all applying to our programs and maybe attending some of the conferences that we're headed to and all that good stuff. So again, I just want to say thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day today. And again, if we didn't get to your question with an answer, just reach out to us. We're happy to continue talking with you all. So thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.